All right, you guys, welcome to another video via Idaho Murders videos. You guys can tell by the title. Let me share my screen. Here we go. So, I'm just going to basically give a summary of everything that I think happened. I mean, I've done this a couple times, but this one will be, yeah, hopefully the most realistic one. So, in case you're new to the case, which I doubt you are, but maybe I'll have some like local followers that um, haven't heard of the case as much. So this is the killer. His name is Brian Koberger, and I am um, pretty close, or probably what? No, not probably. I am 100% certain that he is the killer. I think there's enough evidence out there that he is the killer. And then I think this was his target. This girl's name is Maddie Mogan. I think she was the target. This is her best friend, Kaylee Concalves. And then Ethan Chapin and Xana Kernodle. These two were dating at the time, were a couple. Um, I think she was the target, and there's a whole bunch of like these two, Maddie and Xana. They worked at I can't remember what that place is called, but it's a food place in town, in like downtown Idaho. And I think Brian Koberger would go there a couple times, and they were like waitresses, and he would, kind of stalk them a little bit. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy because these two, Kaylee moved out, or supposedly moved out of the house before November 13th. But she came that weekend because she got a new car and she wanted to show it off to her best friend. And she was going to make a future trip. She was going to have a future down in like Austin, Texas or something for a job after she graduated. I think she was already graduated, but she wasn't even supposed to be there. And then he doesn't live there, of course, but he was there because of her, Xana. So these two weren't even supposed to be there. It was just bad moment, bad time, wrong time of day. So let me gosh, how come I can't? Oh, here we go. Never mind. Okay. So here we go. There is surveillance camera footage out. So this is the murder house right here where it's circled. Um, if you guys haven't seen this video, go watch it. It shows like the whole time what happened that night, pretty much. So when you guys saw that 3 o'clock video that happened when the cops were on that field, like talking to those kids about a party, it was right here where my mouse is at, right here, this field at the top. It was right here, and the house is just right here. So literally, it was just like a block or two away. It's like within a couple minute walk from the house. So how Brian drove, he drove in here, drove up King Road and then to Queen Road. These apartment complexes are right next to the house. And then this house, the house is blocking it right here, but there was another like apartment or house like right where my mouse is at right here. He would pull in, he would drive around four different times that night between like 3:30 a.m. and like 4:07 a.m. So, and then he would drive behind these apartment complexes right here. And then there's a little parking spot like right here. So I'm guessing like right around here where my mouse is circling is where he parked. And then he got out, went inside through the back sliding glass door. There's another picture. See, he went out and through these, he parked like right here. There's those apartment complexes that was showing. What the apartment complexes that was showing. But yeah, he walked right here. Think how creepy that would be. Man, that would be creepy. And the crazy thing is, Xana ordered a DoorDash around the same time, like a few minutes before he got to the house. So the DoorDash was probably parked about right here. right here it was probably parked, and he was driving, and Koberger was driving on this street right here, continuing to go up past those apartments, circling around through the back, park about right here where my mouse is at, and then he would walk down here past that couch, then to the sliding glass door right there. And then, in my opinion, I think he went upstairs first and got his target, which I think is Maddie. At first, I thought it was Kaylee, but it makes more sense why it's Maddie. He had photos of her screenshotted from Instagram on his phone. He took a victim's, I think, ID. It could have been Maddie's. I think it's undetermined whose it was. Um, but yeah, his last final pass by the camera was at 4:07 a.m. and some seconds. I'm not sure how many seconds there were. I'll have to rewatch it. But by the time he actually enters the house, it's probably 4:09 a.m. And Xana approximately got her DoorDash around 4 a.m. So at least about 10 minutes earlier, but I bet it was a few minutes before. I don't think it was 10 minutes before because Koberger was turning around on camera, turning around for like 10 seconds on his second to final pass, turned around, probably make sure the DoorDash driver wasn't there because he was probably there when he turned again at 4:06. He was probably there, the DoorDasher, about ready to leave. So it was probably like 4:03, 4:02, 4:04, around that range when the DoorDash driver got there, probably. I'm just guessing. Um, but my opinion though, Brian Koberger would have went in and killed them earlier. Like his first pass was at like 3:30. He would have killed him right then, but I feel like all the lights were on in the house, and he's like, shoot, they're still awake. So I need to keep driving around the long way. And maybe the next time I come back, they'll be asleep and the lights will be off. That's what I think happened. Um, but yeah, he went through the back, went inside. I think he went upstairs, but it is possible too that he killed Xana and Ethan first, just because maybe Xana was in the kitchen, like finishing her DoorDash meal, or like threw it away or something, and he came walking in. Maybe he got her then. He said, "It's okay, I'm here to help you." Like I could, I mean, I could see that too, like him walking in, and then Xan would be like, "Excuse me, who are you?" And then he would be like, "It's okay, I'm here to help you," or whatever. And then he gets his knife out of his pocket or whatever, and this boom, yeah, I could. And then Ethan could hear like Xana struggling, and like, "Xana, are you okay?" And then coming out, and then gets him too. But I don't think that happened that way. I mean, it's possible because she Xana was 100% awake. She was on TikTok at 4:12 a.m., as the affidavit says. So it is possible, but I think Xana was probably in the bathroom or in her room when Koberger entered the house at 4:09, and then he went upstairs. He probably entered Maddie's room about 4:10 or something like that. Then probably and then got Maddie. It probably took him a couple minutes to kill each victim. Within 2 minutes per victim, it probably took him to do that because he in the surveillance camera footage, you can hear a car speeding away quickly, fast at 4:21 a.m. So yeah, he was out of the house by 4:20 or 4:19. He was out of the house by then. So yep, he was probably took him a couple minutes. I think Kaylee was sleeping in her room. I don't think she was sleeping on the same bed as Maddie. That's where they found him, was on the same bed. But I think Kaylee was sleeping in her room. And I think what happened is I think that Murphy, Kaylee's dog in her room, started hearing sounds from Maddie's room, and he started barking a little bit or growling or whatever. And that woke up Kaylee. And Kaylee thought, huh, that's odd. He never does that around 4 in the morning. So she probably needed to go to the bathroom or something. So she goes out her door, hears something in there, or Brian's just getting done, and then they meet each other in the hallway, and then Brian just gets after Kaylee. Or maybe that's when Dylan heard Kaylee say, "There's someone here." Maybe when she was leaving her room or something, and that's when Brian got her. Maybe, but I think that was probably Xana that said, "There's someone here," but maybe not. Um, Yep, and then he kills her. Probably took him a couple minutes to do that. And then I think I I don't think he was gonna kill Ethan and Xana, but I think they heard what was going on upstairs and they got out of their room. And then by the time Brian came downstairs, he met them on his way out, and he's like, I'm just gonna kill them. So he did. Probably took him a couple minutes each. And then after that, I think he brought a change of clothes too. And I think he hurried and took like within a couple minutes and hurried and changed his clothes, maybe. That's why he left at 4:21. So it probably took him like within a minute to change his clothes and then he left. But the crazy thing is in that surveillance video, right when the murders are done, like within a minute or 2 minutes later, there's a guy walking. There's a guy walking and he gets in his truck like at 4:22, 4:23 a.m. and then he leaves. But I don't think he had anything to do with the murders. I think um that he was just going to work at 4:30 a.m. and he was on his way to work. Just happened at a wrong time for him. But I'm sure he's been cleared and everything. I'm sure police have already seen that video way before we've seen that video. So yeah, but that's what I think happened. Um, it's crazy. And I think it was Brian because there's so much evidence, him being pulled over. He stalked the house at least 12 different times before he committed the murders. He stalked the house at least 12 different times, maybe even more than that. And it was his phone number that was pinging. I mean, what else would he be doing at 4 a.m. that night? Oh, I was just driving around trying to see what this house looked like. And then I saw a killer in there and he was killing the girls, and then I got scared and speeded off quickly. No, that's not what happened. That is not what happened. He is, I think, 100% the killer. The trial's set for October 2nd. I think that's still the date, but I don't think it's going to happen October 2nd. I think it's going to get changed to probably next year sometime. I hope it's October 2nd though, because I want to hear the whole details and everything. So, but yeah, that field right there, that's where the cops were just an hour prior. Man. So, yeah, it's crazy, but I think that's how it happened. Um, yep, unfortunate, scary. I think they are planning on tearing this house down, but I think they're gonna wait till trial's done to tear it down. But yeah, I think this house right here had surveillance camera, maybe. I mean, yeah, but yeah, I think that's what happened. So again, that's Maddie, Ethan, Kaylee, and Xana. And then that's the killer, Brian Koberger. And I think he did it alone. I don't think he had anyone with him because first of all, Brian didn't have any friends really. He was hard to make friends with, so I don't think he had any friends. And I don't think anyone else at that same time would be as psycho as Brian was. So, and he was planning all these murders, reading a book, highlighting pages, reading about different killers and stuff like that. I think he was Papa Rogers on Facebook, maybe that other killer that was a crazy. But yeah, I think it is him. I think they did get the right guy. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, give this video a like. I'm also going to be releasing a YouTube short later today of the Idaho murders. So check that out as well. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.